Coming right up, Straight Talk with Art Levine. Our guest tonight, Don Knabe, Chairman of the LA County Board of Supervisors, as we continue our 22nd anniversary year.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by the Port of Long Beach, a leader in international trade and environmental stewardship. And the Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years. And Scan Health Plan, for your health and independence.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. We have as our guest for the entire show the Honorable Don Knabe, who's the Chairman of the LA County Board of Supervisors. Welcome back to our show, Don.
Art, always nice to be with you.
Congratulations on your election for the fourth time as Chairman of the Board.
Well, I think it's congratulations. It could be condolences.
Yeah, well, I know. 16 years, a long time of service, but this is your last term, and it's a great honor to be chosen as chair. Now, one of the big issues facing the board is Sheriff Baca has just announced that he will be retiring at the end of the month, January, and the board collectively has the legal responsibility for filling that vacancy until the next election. Give us your thinking on how the board should approach that.
Well, first of all, I know you always like the big picture and sort of put things in perspective. The Board of Supervisors, due to term limits, you mentioned my last term, within 24 months is going to have 4 new supervisors. Okay, so if you put that into play, and then the fact is now we have a sheriff that announced his sudden retirement at the end of January of 2014. We do have the responsibility to appoint an interim. That interim would serve until the first Monday in December of this year, because that's when Sheriff Baca's term retires. You know, that's when his term is up. So we have the choice of either appointing someone from the inside, someone from the outside, someone that's not going to be a candidate.
And just to be clear, there will be an election in November or
the
June.
The election's in June.
In June, and then
and there are runoff, and should no one get the 50% plus one, then there would be a runoff.
So this appointment will be for someone who will be serving, as you said, till the end of December, but there'll be an election in June, and this person may or may not be running.
Right, but I mean, in June, when that election is, let's say that someone wins outright, okay, they don't take office till December, although there might be a way to work that out. But the point being, the election's in June, the runoffs in November, the top 2.
Okay, so your view of who should be appointed?
Well, my view, I truly believe, and this is just myself speaking at this particular point, is that we appoint someone that is not going to be a candidate.
Really?
Because at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind, we still have the largest sheriff's department in America. We still have the responsibility to patrol our streets. We still have the responsibility to implement the recommendations of the Jail Violence Commission in our jails. We have the responsibilities of day-to-day code enforcement, drug activity, I mean, harbor patrol, you name it.
So
running to me, I think it really hurts the person, number one, but more importantly, you can't do the day-to-day management of such a large department and be a candidate. And so I think the one thing I really appreciate about Sheriff Baca doing it when he did is the fact that now we'll have a normal election. Now we will be able to get the best candidates ever, because I was concerned that should he make that announcement ever, I mean, up till now, he never talked about it. He could have made it the last day of filing, and that happens when you only get 5 more days for people to file. Yeah. So this way, there's plenty of time. The filing opens in a few weeks. You've got till March. So this way, you're going to find out who wants to run and who's not.
Well, let me ask the $64 question, because we here in Long Beach have a wonderful Chief of Police, Jim McDonald. City Prosecutor Doug Halbert has already urged him publicly to be the next sheriff as the most qualified person. We would hate to lose him in Long Beach, but he seems highly well qualified to be, and he's an outsider in a sense. There are well publicized problems with the sheriff's department, particularly with regard to jail and jail violence. And a lot of folks probably feel it would be a good idea for someone from the outside to come in to help straighten things out.
Well, as someone who was Chief McDonald's strong supporter to bring him to Long Beach and really wanted him to come here after not being chosen, police chief in Los Angeles, everybody forgets he was one of the top 2 candidates, and Either one, Chief Beck or Chief McDonald, were both great candidates. I personally am a very strong Chief Jim McDonald candidate supporter. I have been. I've encouraged him to run since the announcement. I just think that not only what he's done for Long Beach, but what he did with LAPD, the fact that he was my appointee to the Jail Violence Commission. So as an outsider with fresh eyes, he's also an insider to have the benefit of all the knowledge of the testimony from those people that have been impacted by jail violence.
Exactly.
So, I'm sure in his own mind, while we have not had a particular discussion about it, he has some ideas, and it'd be a set of fresh eyes to do that. He's also very community connected. He does great outreach programs to the various ethnic communities.
He's working closely with our Long Beach Police Foundation.
Oh, absolutely.
Reaching out.
He is just one of those unique individuals, and I think he would do just an outstanding job, and hopefully he will make that decision soon that he's going to run.
So you'd obviously be a supporter of him being the next sheriff, but you do not want to appoint anyone who would be a candidate to this interim position.
I just feel strongly that it would be too difficult to run a campaign and to run our sheriff's department, because we can't forget about the thousands of men and women that are our deputies that do the job each and every day regardless of who is at the top. And our responsibility as a contractor with these various cities, our responsibility for law enforcement, for code enforcement, all the different issues that the sheriff department, Metro Transportation, they do all the sheriff. So we can't forget about that. So we need somebody in place that knows the system, has been familiar with it, not part of the problem, but to be able to run the department until the next time, such time as sheriff's elected.
Well said. And you also made the point before we went on air that if you were to appoint someone who might be a candidate, you would want all 5 supervisors to be aboard with that.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be critical. And that's can't
probably not going to happen.
Well, it probably wouldn't happen. I mean, but we do get a lot of 5-0 votes. But I think 2 things happen. One, I feel very strongly about that. You would not want to put somebody in that position, even for interim, on a split vote, number one, and particularly if they're a candidate.
Yeah.
And number 2, if you do it 5-0, then all of a sudden there's the outcry.
It's an inside job.
It's inside job, backroom deal, blah, blah, blah. And you don't want to put that on a potentially very good candidate as well.
Good thinking. Okay, in the next segment, we want to ask Don some of the challenges that he sees the board facing aside from the sheriff situation, and we'll be back after these messages.
At the Port of Long Beach, we're not only delivering jobs, smart ideas, and forward-thinking environmental initiatives. We're also delivering opportunity for all of Southern California. Oh, and a clearer horizon line. To learn more, go to polb.com. The Port of Long Beach, thinking outside the docks.
Hello, I'm Jessica Hardy, a proud Long Beach native and a member of the USA Swimming national team. Having spent much of my life in water, I've developed a deep appreciation for the valuable role that this precious resource plays in our lives. In recent years, California's water supply has become unreliable. To address this reality, Long Beach residents have dramatically reduced their water use through permanent lifestyle changes. In doing so, Long Beach has made itself a leader in water conservation. As I work hard to achieve my personal goal of qualifying for the 2012 Summer Olympics, I encourage you to continue your tremendous efforts to use water in smart and responsible ways. So join me and your fellow Long Beach residents in strengthening the water conservation movement. By making small but significant changes in our water use habits, together we can ensure that we have a reliable water supply for many generations to come.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.